I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation.
Offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care.
I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to do.
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
Whoopi Goldberg is gone, fled, vanished from the country, and we all know why. After facing a massive $80 million lawsuit from Elon Musk and an unexpected investigation by the FBI, Whoopi made a dramatic exit, leaving behind a storm of controversy.
I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president.
I'm just looking at this video and it's so bizarre.
But what really pushed her to this breaking point? What did she say that triggered Musk's wrath? And how did the FBI get involved in all of this? Let's dive deep into the explosive scandal that has everyone talking. Elon Musk isn't new to controversy. Whether it's clashing with politicians, calling out media giants, or pushing back against woke culture, he's always been vocal. But this time, he's taken things to a whole new level. Musk's lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg and The View isn't just about money, it's about accountability. According to the legal documents, Musk is suing Whoopi and her co-hosts for defamation, accusing them of spreading outright lies about him. The lawsuit stems from statements made on the show suggesting that Musk and Senator J.D. Vance were involved in a scheme to manipulate government control if Trump were removed from office. For Musk, this wasn't just another conspiracy theory pushed by mainstream media. This was a direct attack on his character. He argues that these claims were not only baseless, but were deliberately designed to damage his reputation. This lawsuit has sparked a firestorm of debate. On one side, Musk's supporters see this as a long overdue stand against biased media narratives. They argue that celebrities and talk shows should be held accountable when they push misinformation to millions of viewers.
I don't want to embarrass this person because, we send all these invitations out and you don't want to leave them looking bad. So I thought, what would happen if someone was going through the change and it woke up their superpowers?
For them, this isn't just about Whoopi Goldberg. It's about dismantling a system where mainstream media figures can spread claims without consequence. Many believe that Musk's legal action could set a new standard for accountability, ensuring that talk shows and news outlets fact-check their statements before airing them to the public. On the other side, critics claim this is an attack on free speech, warning that it could set a dangerous precedent for legal action against media personalities who voice controversial opinions. They argue that public figures like Musk should expect scrutiny and that a lawsuit of this magnitude could discourage journalists and commentators from speaking openly about high-profile figures. Some fear that if Musk wins, it could embolden other powerful individuals to take legal action against those who criticize them, creating an atmosphere of fear in the media industry. But Musk's team isn't backing down. They argue that this isn't about silencing opinions, it's about stopping outright lies that can have real-world consequences. Musk has repeatedly emphasized that there's a difference between expressing an opinion and presenting false information as fact.
I knew that the chest was on the floor, and I don't think that should stop you. Right? I don't think that should be a reason you stop. But for me, it's like I sparkle when I'm not in love, which is kind of okay.
His supporters point to past instances where media personalities have made unverified claims that influenced public perception and even policy decisions. They believe that holding figures like Whoopi accountable is necessary to maintain journalistic integrity and prevent the reckless spread of misinformation. The debate doesn't end there. Legal analysts have weighed in, stating that Musk's lawsuit could become a landmark case in defining the limits of free speech in media. If successful, it could force networks and talk shows to implement stricter editorial guidelines to avoid potential defamation lawsuits. However, others argue that even if Musk loses, the case itself sends a strong message to media outlets that high-profile individuals are willing to fight back against what they perceive as false and damaging statements. As the backlash grew, Whoopi scrambled to control the damage. She tried to brush off her comments as a misunderstood joke, even making a bizarre comparison to her cat tripping her at home. But it was too late. Social media erupted with Musk's supporters demanding further legal action and accusing her of reckless commentary.
And the older I get, the happier I am. And so just in case, and I'm directing this to, I was filthy. and stand on that fact. I have always been filthy. And you knew that when you hired me. I headlined, babe, at your casino, which I might have continued to play had you not run it into the ground.
Exactly.
But it does that.
Many claimed that her words went beyond mere criticism and could even be interpreted as encouraging harm. As public scrutiny intensified, clips of her controversial remarks spread like wildfire, fueling even more outrage. Desperate to shift the narrative, Whoopi attempted to clarify her position in follow-up interviews, insisting that she had been misinterpreted. She claimed her words were taken out of context and that she never intended to suggest anything harmful. However, this explanation did little to quell the growing backlash. With the lawsuit looming and the FBI investigation intensifying, Whoopi found herself in an impossible position. Every attempt to defend herself only seemed to add fuel to the fire, making it clear that there was no easy way out of this mess. And just when things couldn't get any worse, the FBI got involved. Reports indicate that federal authorities launched an investigation into Whoopi's comments to determine whether they posed a legal or security risk. While the full details of the investigation remain unclear, the very fact that the FBI stepped in speaks volumes about how serious this situation has become. The implications of this investigation go beyond Whoopi herself. It raises serious questions about how far public figures can go in making controversial statements before authorities intervene.
The mother that I knew was vastly different from the mother that she was because of, she had a nervous breakdown, was put into Bellevue, given shock treatment. Yeah, and given shock treatment for 2 years.
Some legal experts suggest that the FBI's involvement means the issue has moved from mere defamation to potential incitement or threats that warrant federal scrutiny. The fact that the Bureau is dedicating resources to this matter suggests that Whoopi's words may have been interpreted as more than just media chatter. For Musk, this development is a massive advantage. His legal team wasted no time seizing on the investigation as proof that Whoopi and The View crossed a dangerous line. If the FBI determines that her comments violated any federal laws, it could escalate into criminal charges, adding an entirely new dimension to the controversy. Feeling the pressure from every direction, Whoopi made a desperate decision. She left the country. The legal nightmare, the relentless media scrutiny, and the looming FBI investigation created a perfect storm, leaving her with no choice but to make a dramatic exit. But her sudden departure has only intensified the controversy, raising more questions than answers. For some, this move was a clear admission of guilt. Critics argue that by fleeing, she was trying to dodge accountability and avoid the fallout of Musk's lawsuit.
When I went back, I was like, oh my God, the kitchen is literally on top of the bathroom and top of this thing, and it didn't look at all like my apartment.
But you were part of this vibrant, diverse community.
Yes.
With very astute mothers.
Yes.
At the head of a lot of the households.
Well,
that we're all looking out for each other's kids.
With the FBI now involved, rumors are swirling about whether she could face extradition if the investigation escalates. Some sources suggest that her legal team is already preparing for the worst, fearing that her absence could further damage her reputation and give Musk's lawsuit even more weight. This scandal has reignited discussions about The View and its credibility as a talk show. For years, the program has been accused of spreading misleading claims while disguising them as opinion-based discussions. Now, calls for the show's cancellation have grown louder, with many arguing that it has become a platform for unchecked misinformation. Supporters of Musk's lawsuit believe this could be a defining moment for media accountability. If he wins, it could force talk shows and news outlets to be more cautious about what they say, and ensure that their statements are based on facts rather than sensationalism. This legal battle isn't just about Musk versus Whoopi, it's about the broader issue of media responsibility. Should public figures be able to sue for defamation when false claims are made against them, or does this risk silencing the press and restricting free speech?
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy. We love it.
They're talking about you in such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then
Musk's supporters argue that his lawsuit is necessary to hold media figures accountable. They believe that if he wins, it could establish a new level of accountability for journalists and talk show hosts, forcing them to be more responsible with their words. However, critics worry that if Musk wins, other powerful figures might use lawsuits to silence media coverage they don't like. They argue that this could lead to self-censorship and a chilling effect on investigative journalism. One thing is clear: Whoopi Goldberg's sudden departure has only made this scandal even bigger. And with the FBI involved, things are only going to escalate from here. Will Musk's lawsuit set a new precedent for media accountability, or will it backfire, reinforcing concerns about censorship? One thing's for sure: this is one of the biggest media battles we've seen in years. What do you think? Is Elon Musk justified in his fight against Whoopi and The View? Or is this just another example of a powerful billionaire trying to control the narrative? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates.